Welcome back to Sinclair Community College Automotive High Performance Program's Engine Masters engine build. Probably between the last time that you saw our video and now, we've actually finished our engine project and we've been up to the competition and competed. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We did really well. First of all, I'd like to kind of just tell you a little bit about what we did based off of the videos up to this point. Is we actually entered the Engine Masters, Hot Rod Engine Masters competition in the American Muscle class. Competition is basically something that's been in existence for about almost 15 years, and we've competed in the last three segments of that series. What I want to say about the competition is that it brings engine builders in reality from all over the globe to come to Northern Ohio and compete in this series based off of whatever class they happen to enter in. The class that we chose had 14 competitors, and all those are professional engine builders from all over the world. There was actually a team from Sweden this year, which was an interesting experience for them and us as well. But we were able to do very well, and we placed third out of 14, which for the setup that we have here at Sinclair, I'd take that as a very good placement. The two people that were above us were two professional engine builders, one from Missouri and one from Southern Indiana. And it was an awesome experience to actually be in that competition with all the other engine builders that are in the world. We learned from each other, and I especially learned from them. Made a lot of network connections with some of the competitors, lifelong friendships. It was just an awesome experience altogether. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to explain to you a little bit about the engine that's sitting behind me here on the dyno, and then finally, before we're all done with this particular video, we'll fire it up and kind of enjoy the experience that we did all through the whole thing. To give you a better idea of exactly what we did with this engine, I know we had a couple of videos on doing part of the work. There was a little bit of a lull there before we got the engine ready for competition, but what I want to go over is exactly what this engine is, what we put into it for the competition within the restraint of the rules. So what you're looking at is a 352 cubic inch small block Ford based off of a 5-liter engine. The rules stated they wanted the engine to kind of be configured as if your average person would be able to put something like this in a car. So it couldn't be anything built just for the dyno. It had to actually be built to function as if it was going into an actual vehicle. What you're looking at here is we used an Edelbrock dual plate intake, Holley XP 750 carburetor, MSD ignition, hooker headers that would go into like a late model Fox body Mustang, and oil pan was a Moroso oil pan, also for the Fox body. The water pump had to be mechanically driven, meaning off of the crankshaft with a belt, as it would be in a typical car. The internal components, which you can't see, which is under the pretty blue paint, is a Lanati Voodoo series rotating assembly, which is a 3/400 stroke crank, 5/400 Lanati rods, and finally Molly pistons with a compression limit of 11:1. We ended up at 10.8:1, which is as close as we could get with the current setup. The camshaft was a custom ground by Redline Racing Cams from Spiro Jennings out of Jose, California. And actually, that was the whole magic of the process. I'm not really going to go into the details of it because we all got our secrets, and I'm going to keep that between Spiro and I. But it's what really made this project come alive and allowed us to place with all the heavy hitters that were in the competition. Of course, the cylinder heads were Edelbrock Victor Juniors. Jim Butts, the gentleman that helps me out in class, is, in my opinion, probably one of the best cylinder head gurus there is in this country, at least. They've been extremely heavily massaged. They incorporate a 208 intake, 160 exhaust valve. We have dual comp cam springs, and I won't go into any of the details of that, but it's pretty much set up with what you'd typically find in a street strip type engine. It is a flat tappet saddle lifter camshaft setup. That was also mandated by the rules, which most, if all modern engines today are based off of what they call a hydraulic roller. So this is kind of a kickback to a time when maybe roller cams were not available, and it kind of presented some unique challenges for us, but we were able to work right through those. That's basically it as far as the engine goes. It sounds like a bunch of parts and pieces, but the work actually came in doing all the machine work on the block and then assembling it, test it here in the high performance program. What you see on the dyno right now is the end product that what any one of our students can have at the end of the 2-semester series of the high performance engine building program in the automotive department. You can go through, start out with pretty much a piece of junk, and we've had some engines that were literally rusted together and beat apart with a hammer, and they end up looking with something like this and making quite a bit of power. We can do all those kinds of things here in our program, and it's just an awesome experience for the people that want to get that, whether they want to do a stock rebuild or an extreme race engine. We've had people build some really crazy stuff in this class. I think our record to date as far as a student build engine is 1,100 horsepower, which is pretty impressive, especially by somebody who's taking a college class and running through 2 semesters of building an engine. It's pretty exciting, actually. So speaking of exciting, I think at this point we probably want to fire this thing up and kind of listen to it a little bit, and we'll beat up on it, but it's kind of like music to our ears. So let's get to that. About going to wrap it up for the Engine Master Series portion of Sinclair Community College High Performance Engine Program. I don't know about you, but that was like really cool. I mean, I live for this stuff, so I'm glad you all could be a part of this process the whole time we're doing it. Again, I can't say enough of a thanks to Justin Morgan, the Department Chair, Dean Tony Ponder, and the Provost Dave Collins here at the college. If it wasn't for them, none of this would have happened. And I'm glad that we could represent the college as good as we did with basically all the heavy hitter engine builders that there are in this nation, and of course to be able to place third above all the other ones, that was just an amazing experience for all of us, and it certainly speaks a lot about what we can do here in the program should you choose to come and be a part of it and take the engine building program. Another big thanks out there to Spirogenics and Redline Racing Cams. This was his Atomic Bomb Series camshaft, he called, and by golly, it delivered. With all of that, I want to say thanks for everybody that's joined in on this series. I look forward to many more videos. Hopefully we can talk the college into kind of getting some of the student engines that are being built and processed right now as this video is being shot. There'll be a lot more dyno testing in the spring semester, so hopefully that can happen. If you happen to be interested in wanting to take our program here, either the basic automotive program or corporate programs, ASEP, CAP, Honda, and of course, I want you to come take the automotive high performance program, you need to get a hold of Mr. Justin Morgan. He can be reached at 937-512-2513. He'd be more than happy to get you set up kind of interview you, see where you're at, and if you know, you can come in and take our class. And I don't know what else to say than this was pretty cool. So thanks again, everyone.